Welcome back to the North American Dota 2 League, brought to you by MLG. I'm MY John here at the MLG studios in New York City, and I'm joined by Gods and Merlini as well. We had a really exciting first set of the day, that best of two. Closing thoughts. Dignitas winning in that fashion, pretty amazing, right, guys?
It set a high standard for the rest of the games for today and for the rest of the NA League as far as entertainment goes. As far as
that was probably the closest game that we've seen.
Yeah, we have. Well, I'd say Wednesday we had some close games, but some very more slow-paced games where it wasn't as nail-biting to the finish, where games would be a bit more, teams would be more slow and methodical to finish. But that was just epic in so many ways.
And they used two new heroes, Abaddon and Elder Titan.
Yeah, all right, on the same team. Okay, we're seeing it happen. I love that teams are starting to experiment with these picks, and hopefully more to come from the next two teams in this in our next match.
Yeah, and speaking of those next two teams, let's go ahead and take a look at who's playing our next match. It's going to be the Joikernaughts versus No Love. And No Love, of course, team name change since the qualifiers. These are two teams that fought through in the qualifiers, a pool of over 140 teams to make their way into the league. So they've definitely proven themselves to make it this far. We want to see what they have to offer on the big stage. We'll look at the Joikernaughts roster first and run through their players. Joik, of course, looks like that's who the team is named after. Kenaz Cookie is an old school NA veteran. I believe he's played on teams like Hi, This Is Dog in the past, a lot of Gosu Cups, and they've placed very highly in those. Apathy, the same boat, a very veteran player. Toxin, and then DK, players I don't know all too much about, but you can see actually Toxin and DK are going to be playing the carry and mid role respectively. So maybe an opportunity for another breakout player in this set from the Joikernaughts, and we'll get to see what they have to offer up against their opponents, No Love. And we can take a look at No Love's roster. It's going to be Devil Too High, Uni, Siren, Die Dragon Master, Play Hard BBC, Space Cat, and Do Not a Burglar. So they have a stacked roster, 7 players, of course, so you have some room for alternates. It looks like we'll have... I'm not sure. I can't do it off the top of my head who's not playing right now, but we do have the players in game, so we'll figure it out once we get there. It looks like Play Hard won't be in this match, and one of the others will be subbed out as well, Space Cat. So we'll get to see this team. This is going to be the first time, at least for me, I'm seeing these players. I don't know all too much about them. This is going to be another interesting matchup to see who's going to emerge and get these crucial victories. What are you guys' thought on this matchup?
Yeah, this is one of those matches for teams. If you want to finish on the top 4, these are kind of teams who'll be in the middle of the pack, and getting that 3rd or 4th place finish is going to come down to matches like this. The Joikernaughts, they actually played in the qualifiers and lost a match. They lost their best of 3 against Pretty Boy Swag, which was a really close game, and we already saw Pretty Boy Swag lose their opening match. So these teams need to step it up and start things off with a win, I feel.
I don't know any of these players on any of these teams. I think you said you heard of DK, but I haven't seen any of these players in IXDL. I do not know what to expect from either of these teams.
Yeah, DK, I recognize him just from some matchmaking games on the NA servers, but for the most part, this is new upcoming teams. I mean, they've been playing together. Most of their practice actually comes from just playing together in matchmaking. That's how these guys met, how they kind of just start practicing. They don't all scrim like 5 times a week like
That's how Alliance met Admiral Bulldog.
Yeah. Well, Dendi met Admiral Bulldog.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let me ask you guys something then. The other day with the newer teams, we saw much less Wisp and a lot more Abaddon. So you think that's going to be a continuing trend, maybe gearing away from the Wisp, because it is a tougher hero to use to its full potential, I'd say.
Unless one of these teams has some secret weapon Wisp play, I think this could be a game where there's no Wisp pick, maybe even no Wisp ban again, like we saw on day 1 of the league. But
Wisp is just very risky. Abaddon is one of the safer supports. Like, if you get caught out of position, you're not going to die. Right, and he can just heal up other people, just be annoying. Wisp, if you're out of position, you're just gonna straight up just die.
I really want to see some Spirit Breaker, some Space Cow. I know Bruno's out there as well.
I want to see Wisp.
You want to get some? Yeah, I wouldn't mind some Wisp.
Yeah,
True Warlord, another hero we haven't seen as well.
Centaur.
Yeah, you guys talked about how important each match is, and even considering the fact that on the first day, Avanti's Angels and Purple split that series, that puts them both 1-1 in the middle of brackets. So you can even pick up a little bit of a headway on one of those teams early on here by taking a 2-0. But let's go ahead and actually give it a minute for the match to start. It's starting right now. Of course, Joikernaughts versus No Love. And I think it was mentioned previously that Gods actually said that Joikernaughts lost to Pretty Boy Swag. So that could be an indication of where they're going to end up in the bracket. However, if the matches were close, we could see a turnaround. We're in the game now. You guys can take it over with a cast. Thank you.
Well, guys, welcome to our second match of today. It's going to be the Joikernaughts up against No Love Gaming. Two relatively unknown teams in the North American scene, but they made their way through the qualifier, earned their spot in the MLG North American League, where they're going to fight for $15,000 in prizes. We've got the Captain Joik drafting for the Radiant team and Devil Too High over on the Dire side. And, well, it starts here. We're in the draft. I'm Gods. Joining me is Ben Merlini Wu. How are you doing, Ben?
How are you doing? I'm looking at these teams' logo. No love. It's like it looks like a lightning bolt rather than like a heartbreaking.
Team ban.
We've had some good logos and some interesting logos.
Mm-hmm.
I like the purple Canadians. They had a nice purple maple leaf, which was transparent and looked pretty cool. But Joikernaughts, these teams have really come out. I mean, for being sort of amateur teams, they've put some work into these logos. Haven't seen the flags yet, though. The flags is like the make or break moment.
I know. You can tell whether a team's new or not simply by their flags and whether they can actually format it correctly and like double it up.
It's the same with cosmetics on a hero. Like I see if someone playing Meepo, if they don't have cosmetics, I'm like they're a bad Meepo player. Yeah.
Wow.
You've got to have the cosmetics. But,
there's some really ugly ones out there. There's some like really ugly ones for Axe and Ursa. Oh my goodness.
Are you talking about the Alpine set?
No, not the Alpine set.
If you have an Alpine set, you're a legit Ursa player. That's all I can say.
The only one I've seen is Sing Sing.
Ice has one. He pulled it out at TI3, I think, when they played Ursa one game. And he had the Alpine Ursa set. It's worth like $400. Right?
That set is
even
like
more than
mad
that.
Ugly. It looks like Indiana Jones.
That's
How does he look like a bear?
That's why it got removed. Everyone who didn't buy one is just kicking themselves because of how much it's worth.
Yeah, that's true.
If Valve ever they'll never make that same mistake again, I guess. Or if they ever release a set so bad, everyone's going to buy it, just expecting them to take it out.
Well, we see a Wisp ban. We see a Batrider ban. Batrider, we haven't seen any play today, but we did see him last week. Not as dominant as most Batriders, but still very strong hero. To have to take him out. And Naga Siren seems to be the new thing.
Yeah,
like first pick, like absolute straight up first pick. Doesn't matter if there's a Nakes. Doesn't matter if there's BKB hero. Just straight up first pick every time.
Yeah, Alliance were doing this at TI3, and it's like something like a few of their players I remember saying they reckon it's currently the strongest hero in the pool. Like they'll let heroes like Wisp through, but they will always snatch that Naga Siren first. And it's definitely a strong support, but like you said earlier, it's one of those supports that's harder to use.
Yeah, definitely. Like the ensnare, like she has like such long cast animation too. Often you get fog with ensnare. Ensnare doesn't actually do any damage at all. Mirror image you can't get until later. She's a melee hero. All these things she's fairly difficult to play too. I'd say Song of Siren can definitely make or break a team fight.
The big difference here as far as drafts go, I mean, we have the Weaver Visage. We can see a Lone Druid. We haven't seen much of in this tournament. I think it's a hero that's fallen off a little bit, mostly because there's no... I feel like most of the carries you need to have an early game item, but we're not seeing those. Like, even when we see Spectre picked, it's always the phase drums, no longer Radiance rushes. And the problem with Lone Druid is there's no good early game builds now that you can't go for the armlet.
Yeah, this is true. I mean, Maelstrom and like Basher is like okay, but it just gets absolutely demolished by Lifestealer. And speaking of Lifestealer, he's still left in this pool too, although he does not fare very well against Naga Siren or Weaver, so I don't expect Joikernaughts to pick him up, but No Love Gaming certainly could.
Absolutely. He's great against Lone Druid, so if they want to run those as their two cores, like the Weaver in the off lane, Lifestealer in the safe lane, or vice versa, even go for some kind of a tri lane, or they can't really go too offensive with a Lifestealer Naga because of the two melee.
Joikernauts should definitely ban Lifestealer though.
I fully agree. I don't think they want to have a Lifestealer enemy team. It's one of those series we talked about earlier that it's easier to play for these kind of tier 2 teams in big matches.
Lone Druid I think is easy too.
Yeah, absolutely. It gives you that easy safe. That was the problem we saw last game. Stay Free got ahead, but they struggled to find a way to push. If you're something like a Lone Druid, it becomes a lot easier to actually.
You have to react. You can't just like delay like they did. I mean, they had Abaddon Shield and Mech, but it just simply wasn't enough.
Yeah, and even when they had that numbers advantage, like when they were trying to push bottom when Antimage was dead, they just couldn't do it because they had no way of sieging the tower, which is what Lone Druid can offer. We're going to see Nyx and Queen of Pain banned out. Neither team having yet got their solo mid, so no surprise to see some of these solo mids banned out.
Yeah, I think Joikernaught could go for like a semi-push strat too. We haven't seen Chen or Enchantress picked up either. These are also considered, or at least Chen is considered a top-tier pick, especially at TI3. I think that Navi banned it out every single time just because it's just such a strong hero. It should secure your triple lane, and it often secures like very early towers. The send back saves your carries, so he's still relevant support throughout the game, and he's excellent at taking Roshian too.
Yep. 5 seconds Alchemist, the next ban coming out. be a bit. I guess Lone Druid they don't want for the tri lane, so quite likely be an off lane hero. We're not seeing the OD as well. That's the other, I guess, sort of somewhat top tier pick. You mentioned probably not a first pick, but Lifestealer with Lone Druid. This kind of goes back. I think it's still okay. This is like the ultimate like
Pre
siege combo.
6.78 strat.
This was like initially what IG would do. This was this dual core that was just unbeatable. Lone Druid Lifestealer. You would never give a team both these heroes, and this was generally like one team would first pick Lifestealer Lone Druid, the other team would first pick the other one. And it kind of fell off after a while. Teams started getting better at dealing with it. Lone Druid got nerfed quite hard. Lifesteal as well actually got nerfed a bit, but
well, this is why they didn't ban it, because they wanted it for themselves. I mean, it does make your triple lane pretty strong. Again, I don't particularly like it versus Naga Siren. And I mean, No Love Gaming could also do Weaver in triple lane. Often Weaver is viewed as a solo offlane hero, but he can also be pretty strong in triple lane.
Something Lone Druid's great at is doing those 1v1 matchups though. So if they want to go offensive tri lane, Lone Druid 1v1 in safe lane should be able to beat most heroes.
It's pretty difficult versus Weaver, but
actually that's true.
If you get pulled sentries though, it should be very, very easy Lone Druid farm.
Yeah, so they'll look for one more support for that tri lane most likely. May even just send Lone Druids off lane though.
Jakiro. Are they going for a wombo combo type strat with a like Magnus and or Darkseer? I mean, Darkseer isn't banned out, so
I think regardless, they needed a long range initiation support. Weaver's not guaranteed to be in their tri lane, but to go with the Naga, you need some kind of a range support. CM would have been a decent option, but I think
he's decent at anti-push too, in case they do decide to put a lot of pressure early on those T1 towers.
Yeah, no, definitely agree there. We'll see Joikernaughts with their fourth pick here. I imagine they want to go for just their other support here. That you kind of want to hide what your solo mid's going to go, unless there's something they really want, which they're afraid is going to get banned out, like a Puck maybe. But in general, I think this is where you want to just grab that other support.
I think Puck would be really, really good for Joikernaughts right now. And it's a good Lifestealer bomb. It's very good for laning. They don't have any hard disables on the side of No Love Gaming. I mean, they have Ice Path, but you can face shift that. You can face shift and snare as well. Yep. And there's a Chen pickup. I mean, this could be a push strat.
It really looks like it. It's not much else it can be. So No Love Gaming near start thinking about counter push, which they've got a decent amount of already. Jakiro AoE, Weaver Swarm isn't bad. Naga Siren can slow things down, either sending illusions out later on or just using Riptide as a nice spell to have and Song of the Siren. So I don't think they'll be too worried. And this is another beat push by counter pushing. Nature's Prophet. If they want a 5-man down mid, you just send Nature's Prophet to one of the side lanes and always make trades.
I like Joikernauts' lineup a lot more right now. I think Lifestealer and Visit are very strong in lane. Lone Druid wins almost every 1v1 matchup, bar a few. Chen just really good at just a lot of things, putting a lot of pressure on early game, pushing, and I think they just have a more well-rounded strategy. And it's not like they like late game either. Lone Druid and Lifestealer still can crush heroes late game.
The one thing Joikernauts need now for their solo mid is a good initiator. Something to combine with an Infest would be great, which is Puck, Storm Spirit, whatever it may be. Which without a doubt, you should see one of those getting banned out.
Yeah, if Storm got an Orchid, or they put Storm in and he got an Orchid, it would just be like game over.
Yeah, I feel Storm is almost better than a Puck for that very reason, because they want a hero with a silence. They want an Orchid hero, which is Storm. Queen of Pain's been banned.
They don't have any. They don't have any stuns besides Visage Burst and no silences right now. So they do need some sort of thing so they can kind of shut down Weaver. Else Weaver can just Shikuchi around in team fights and have not a care in the world unless he gets rooted.
And even for the Naga Siren, having a silence would be very useful, preventing that sleep. So.
Ban TA, so it looks like they're going. I mean, they're definitely
TA's the Storm counter, so they banned TA, hoping to pick a Storm Spirit probably because Puck does okay.
Storm has
TA.
been banned. I still think Puck is pretty good pick here.
I think Puck's probably the backup. I don't see any other clear solo mid heroes that can sort of do what a Storm or a Puck can do. But,
they still have plenty of time though. 34 seconds, along with the 15 seconds left for the pick.
I want to see some like old school solo mids, and like Brewmaster solo mid.
Death Prophet. I'm all about the Death Prophet.
That hero is boring.
Yeah, silence.
Hell to play.
It is so boring. It's such a good hero though. Oh my goodness.
Every time around, I'm like, I don't want to play this.
I know. I played her so many times because then when everybody else refuses to play her.
Yeah.
Well, Nature's Prophet I think is going to have a really difficult time in lane, whether it's versus a triple lane or whether it's versus solo Lone Druid. I think that he will probably get beaten in most of the matchups. If he goes early Midas, though, he will be able to stop a lot of Chen's effectiveness early with that. But let's see. I mean, it really is going to be up to the solo. Oh, Windrunner. Wow.
I think that's okay. I guess it's a bit different to the Puck. Slightly. It's they've already got the Chen, so they didn't need a mech buy. But yeah, interesting choice.
Are they going to put a mid? That is the question. I think Windrunner's I mean, Windrunner is very good.
Okay, because they could send Lone Dreadman and use Windrunner in the offlane, I guess.
Yeah, correct.
Oh, well,
There's a Tinker. Okay, there's an anti-push.
Great, yeah, there's your anti-push indeed. But you can still push into Tinker okay with the Lone Dread Lifesteal, I feel, because Lifesteal you could just rage up and attack while you're raged.
But they have Martian Machines. They have Sprout, I guess, kind of can go through a rage. They have Net. And they have the sleep tool that they can use and just focus Nyx down. So Lifestealer may not have the easiest time this game. I've also seen like Song of the Siren stretch with you just Song of the Siren and then you cast like 2 marches into them and then they're forced to run away and then you just net one and kill and that person's dead. So that's a very viable way to initiate and win a team fight for No Love Gaming.
And we're talking about dealing with this push. At the same time, Joikernaughts can just take this late game as well. Like if they get an early advantage, it's like they can just take the outer towers early on. But pushing the tier 3s will be hard against Tinker, against Prophet. They can just look to get items which can take them late game. And with
they may like the mobility late game though. They have a Weaver who can split push. They have a Nature's Prophet and a Tinker who can all push out lanes. So even if it gets to that point, like Lifestealer is not that great at just
that's where they really need that storm.
They have the heroes for it, or they have the heroes that can actually carry. But in terms of like actually being able to control them, like we saw last game, they were SF was just 5-manning a lot. Even though OD was stacked, they couldn't actually force any good fights because of the heroes that they had. So that might work into NL's favor.
Well, having seen the draft, have you bet rares? Are you worried about your rares?
I did not bet any rares because I know absolutely nothing. It'd pretty much just be a crapshoot.
Well, if one of them has like a 55% chance.
That's true. Well, other people might know more than I do. They most certainly do, actually. Yeah. Well, looking at these lineups, I have to favor Joikernaughts more. I think it's just easier to execute. Like, just get Syllabear fat, get Nyx fat, and push down towers with Chen. Like, it's a very simple gameplay, and then after that, you get ahead, and you just keep controlling your lead. On NL, they have to worry about Nature Prophet not getting any farm. They have to worry about securing the BOTs for Tinker against whatever he's in mid. They have to worry about constantly being able to defend towers. They have to get the Midas up on the Nature Prophet. It's a little bit more difficult, I'd say.
Yeah, I think it's a big thing how easy your lineup is to execute, and at the same time, how much room for error you have. Even if Joikernaughts give away a kill or two, they're going to be okay. They're not going to. They're still able to push down towers to regroup. But if No Love start falling behind, give away some kills on their key heroes, being Tinker and Nature's Prophet falling behind in farm, they're out of it. They're not going to be able to defend.
If they don't have base of travel on Tinker, like they're just boned against a push. Yeah. So they have to get that up by, let's say, like the 15-minute mark, I'd say at the latest, for things not to go extremely poorly for them.
I think No Love have ways to win with their lineup, but it's just no room for error. And that's the great beauty of these pushing lineups around Chen, is that there's often room for error. And we're going to see
both teams 5-manning bottom very, very early. I'm going to introduce Joikernaughts really fast before they meet up. We see Joik playing the Chen. Kenai has Cookie on the Lone Druid, Apathy on the support Visage, DK on the Windrunner, and Toxin on the Lifestealer.
It's freaking the fastest intros of my life. Daedra Dragon on Naga, Siren, Uni on Tinker, Devil Too High on Weaver, Not a Burglar on Jakira, and then finally it's Siren on the Nature's
They were all like walking a line for you. It was so easy. Whew. So easy to call them out.
That makes up the No Love Gaming or No Love team.
Very important for NL to secure or to try and prevent Chen from getting a really good start. They've already blocked 2 camps right now. They blocked the bottom one as well as the large one. So Chen not going to have as easy a time as normal. He actually does not have any sentries on him. Let's see if anyone does. Looks like the Visages, but is he going to be able to scout these wards? I mean, I think that TJ could have like tried to contest it. Yes. I think their like first bloodline is like not bad at all. They have Visage, they have the Lone Druid Bear, they have the Lifestealer, they have 2 ranged heroes. It's like not atrocious. They kind of let NL just like run all the way up into their face and just lay wards. Now they have no idea where the wards are. Chen is forced to play passive for at least a couple of minutes, and this is not the start that you want when you have a Chen in your safe lane, triple lane.
Yeah, they didn't even. Yeah, like you say, not seeing them where they plant the ward makes a big difference here, because they're gonna. This is. I know No Love know what they're doing because of the ward placement. This is one of those things where you block the big camp and the full camp, and you're gonna expect that the Magic Bush has been warded. That's your first thought. You see these 2 camps not spawning, like okay, let's deward Magic Bush, but this Sentry Ward place,
Sentry Ward is not going to see anything.
The second one, more important than dewarding the big camp is dewarding the pool. You need to have pools. You're up against an offensive tri lane. Pools is kind of the way you can save this lane. So he needs to make sure he gets it. And I think he's putting it to the left side. I think with this Observer Ward, you can either put it to the right side or the bush over on the left. So there's a chance that he's going to miss this sentry.
Wow, that is a big. This is a bad start.
He's used 2 tangos as well.
He's used 2 tangos and 1 sentry ward and hasn't found anything.
Yikes.
Yikes,
The first
indeed.
tango he didn't even need to use. He used the tango just to break through, which, I mean, ultimately you want to use that so you can double pull, but this is one of those things which a lot of the newer viewers and people new to Dota 2 is these small things can just change the game entirely. Whether your lane can pull or not can be the difference between winning or losing a lane, which can ultimately make you win or lose the match.
Yeah, usually like safe lanes have a huge advantage because you can creep pull, but Joikernaughts not going to be able to utilize that for a very, very long time. But this tornado is doing a lot of work. Underbroker already at half HP, but let's check out the two solo lanes. See, Windrunner doing fantastically in middle, 6 and 5 versus the Tinker's 4 and 1. That is a lot of denies this early. I'm actually surprised that Tinker is that behind early because he has laser to help him out.
Both heroes going for the null talisman build and getting pulled some regen. The problem with this Chen, he's helping bottom lane with the tornado, but it means he's not farming. His farm is as an enchantress, great, you can do this, but as a Chen, you only have one neutral creep, so he gets next to no farm and levels of his own. And Chen is very level and farm dependent. Often you'll see Chens just not even coming out to gank until level 5 or level 6, where they're not really ganking, they're pushing, because Chen needs to get those levels and farms up. Want to get the arcane boots, the mech especially, to help your team out.
Lone Druid is actually having a rather difficult uptime to only 3 last hits, and Nature's Prophet has double his last hits right now, which is kind of surprising. I mean, he's just dumping the treants on him and using it for a little bit of extra damage, but I usually don't expect...
First blood bottom lane, there's an engagement here, and it's actually the Radiant team with the help of the Chen Tornadoes.
I didn't actually see what was going on there. I'm actually surprised that the Weaver was the first to die. Usually he's a hero that you expect to die the least.
Well, it's first blood to the Dire team, and that's absolutely fantastic. Then Visage having to use a lot of mana to secure it, but he gets the first blood gold, immediately picks up a magic stick just to help out. Being in the trial lane, well, dual lane versus trial lane, there's going to be a lot of spells flying, and having a magic stick early will help out a lot. Should see Lifestealer even picking one up for himself as well, as that's a great start for the Joikernaughts.
That tornado is super annoying, and it's not like Chen isn't doing anything while he doesn't have any creeps. He's triple stacked his big camp, so he can get another Wildkin tornado there, and he's just right back in farm.
Yep, he's doing. I think he's going to do that. He just grabbed another Wildkin. He's going to probably farm this once and then send it to the lane, maybe to harass with the second tornado. And this is the catch up he needs because he's still level 1. He's got 70 experience, not even halfway to that level 2.
This is definitely the catch up he needs. He's really lucked out. I think he's gotten what 3 Wildkins thus far.
Well, the first
one... no. Oh, he used a tornado twice on the first one, so only 2.
I guess that's why he didn't need to be having that creep to help him neutral, because he was just planning on stacking this. If he didn't get another Wildkin, though, he was screwed.
Yeah,
he had to get that
screwed.
second Wildkin. So I guess the chances are you quad stack this, you're going to get a Wildkin, but it's still a chance that you don't.
Oh, yeah. And he's trying to get the Centaur. He needs to try and get that Centaur experience.
Yeah.
He missed out on experience on that.
The experience matters more than the gold at this point.
But he wanted to kill it before the 4-minute spawn because he's not getting anything else. But I think he could have just waited. He auto-attacked the Centaur, forcing it to come out from his little cubby hole.
Slight misplay.
Yeah, slight misplay. And 4-minute rune spawns bottom for Die Dragon Master. I'm just going to call him Naga.
Die Dragon Master.
Such a sinister name.
Solid. I'm definitely sure Joikernaughts after this game are going to be going back, checking the replay and seeing where these ward spots are, because they just got completely...
They cannot let that happen. If anything else, just let the Lone Druid bear scout it out so that you have to be able to see where they put their sentry wards. Else, you're just going to have a much more difficult time. I mean, they're doing pretty well, given...
Lone Druid's hit level 5. He's trying to go in for this kill. He's got the Orb of Venom. No Entangle proc, though. This is where this lane gets hard for Prophet.
Yeah, he has boots up on himself, but not the bear right now.
He's just harassing the hero using these treants, which is the smart thing to do. This is going to... Lone Druid needs to get Tranquil Boots out now as fast as he can to help him out, I feel.
Or just, I think, if he got boots on his bear, this Lone Druid would be... Or this Prophet would be in a lot of trouble.
There's another tornado in bottom lane, just pushing these heroes away. This is just so annoying. And Chen, during this time, he's stacking once again, doing the same thing. He's going to steal a creep, though. He's not going to
I mean, as much as we talked about, this is not the early game start that they needed, Chen has been doing a fantastic job given his circumstances. He's only working with, pretty much 2 creep camps right now.
He's played this really smart. It's definitely something that's not easy to do, to react to these circumstances. They thought they'd be able to de-ward, but a bit of creep luck goes his way, but at the same time, he's played it absolutely phenomenally.
DK in mid, the Windrunner, has 19 denies right now. He is a full level ahead of the Tinker.
Not even brushing phase boots or anything to give him that plus damage. Just the bottle with boots and a null talisman. And
yeah, this Tinker's getting crushed.
Yikes.
Oh, we see a TP on bottom lane.
One for one trade so far. It looks like you're going to actually spread up this lifesteal, but that's not going to do much when he's got that Quelling Blade.
And And it looks like Lone Druid is actually putting a lot of pressure
Yeah.
on top right now, redirecting the creeps with the Spirit Bear.
Yeah, as soon as that Prophet TP's away, he's going to force a TP back immediately. Prophet buying a TP scroll just to come back to the top lane as soon as possible. And Tinker, unfortunately, luck does not go his way. He was hoping for that 6-minute rune. It spawns top. Windrunner was there. And Windrunner now with an Invis rune, getting close to that level 7. Tinker is having a miserable time.
Yeah, he is able to bottle Crow though, but his BOTs are not going to be anywhere close to like 10 minutes, I'd say. He's only seen at 300 gold after getting his bottle and brown boots. We see some Tinkers pick up a soul ring before going for a BOT, but it really just depends on whether you can do the ancient stack or not. And speaking of ancient stacks, this Nagastar has been doing a fantastic job of stacking. It's already at a, what, 3 stack? 4 stack? 4 stack.
Well, this is I feel No Love do have sort of this comeback mechanic. They're behind early. It's actually almost a 2,000 gold lead early on for Joikernaughts, but the ancient stack is there. They have the Prophet who's doing decently at top, rotating bottom to help get his team a kill. And if Tinker can just get the Boots of Travel or Soaring at an okay time, or even just maybe, like you say, go straight Soaring just for the Ancients here.
I mean, that Ancient stack, that is a lot of money just sitting there, and they cannot afford to let Joikernaughts steal it. They have the Lone Druid and the Chen Creep to kind of tank it and makes for the damage, so it is possible that they could do it if they 5-man, but you just really have to secure that.
Yeah, that would be a big investment, and I'm sure No Love would look to contest that. We are going to have Nagastar rotate top, immediately scouted out by the Spirit Bear. Smart play by Kana has cookies. He knows his gank coming in. I think he even spotted the Jakiro as well. So he's back to his tower, realizing it's not safe. He may even go all the way back to jungle.
Yeah, he's not going a super safe build like we see some, or he is going a rather safe build. He has brown boots on himself as well as the bear. He's not rushing a Midas. He doesn't actually have a Quelling Blade. I've seen Sprout just like absolutely crush Spirit Bears later when they try and split push or scout.
Here comes the gank in. They've got Chen with the creep here as well. And Windrunner, not going to probably be able to latch a Sackle here. Actually, Windrunner's tried to go into the tower, but the March is just doing too much damage. Just level 3 March, but that
thing's picking up for Tinker. He got the 8-minute rune. He just dodged a gank. So even if he's not getting CS, at least he's not dying.
Well, speaking of dying, Weaver dead at bottom lane.
What?
Don't worry. I just saw Weaver with the time. I'm glad we're not observing this. It's one of those, I just relax more because I know I don't have to catch all the kills. Top lane, though, there may be a kill coming out. Nagastar actually gets an early point in mirror image just to get out of an entangle. I'm not sure if he had that already or if he decided to get it because of that entangle, but
pretty smart move.
Yeah, it's one way to get out of that. We're seeing a push come in from the No Love squad on this tier 1 top tower. And similar story at bottom lane. Both these tier 1 towers very, very low. Dire gets the top tower first. Bottom lane, though, any deny from Weaver. He wants to go in for this. Brave Chill not going to be able to do anything. And Sensual even being placed down.
They've been prepared for this Weaver. I'm actually very, very surprised that this Weaver has 2 this. Like, they don't have any stuns or silences. So if he gets open wounded or grave chilled, all you do is just Shakuchi away. And if he gets like stunned by like a centaur running up, that absolutely shouldn't happen. So I didn't see any of those 2 deaths.
He must be overextending because that wasn't even Chen at bottom lane. Chen was mid, so it was a dual lane killing the Solar Weaver. He is going to try go in here. This is probably how he ended up dying last time. Get a bit too aggressive, try go for these kills, and these heroes have magic sticks as well. He dies again. Visage kills him off, and Visage is going to get another kill. It looks like here comes Lifesteal with phase boots as well as magic stick charges. Double stun.
Visage is level 7, 7.5 right now.
This guy hurts.
Wow. Well, I guess saw how he died. Just the massive damage output from this Visage. I mean,
oh, here comes Tinker. He's looking to turn things around. Lasers, rockets flying in. Only level 1 on these nukes though, and it looks like Lifesteal may go down as well. He's got a rage up.
The phase boost juke.
I love those phase boost jukes where you just like run through them. And Windrunner showing up a bit too late here. Not going to find any kills, I don't think. Maybe with the familiars, those shackle shot.
Oh!
What? What a line. And there's going to be 1 stun. Second stun will come a second later. Not going to go for this though, as there's a Nagastar and Snare, and DK may have overextended here. Tinker does have a level 2 heat-seeking missile in just a second, which he's going to throw right now. Not enough follow-up damage. Laser with a couple right clicks. Ultimate.
What a timely Prophet ultimate there.
Yeah. Nicely played by No Love. Those
nicely played by
kills.
both teams, I think.
They needed those kills because they were behind. And
this Weaver just seems like a big liability. He's actually going for phase boots. Wow, I would highly advocate for treads, especially when you're behind.
Yes.
Because the amount of damage that a Visage nuke does with full charges is just absolutely insane. And if you're like half HP with this Weaver, then you're just going to die. He's already far enough behind. I don't want him to fall any further behind than he needs to.
I remember there was like a small period of time when I was playing Dota 1, seriously, that I thought Phase Boots Weaver was a decent build, and I'm well beyond that phase. It was a phase. I went through it, it ended, and I will never go back.
He does not need move speed.
No.
I think drums is all right because it gives him a lot of HP too, but phase boost I think is a big no-no on him.
I think it was one of those things where it was okay in 1v1 matchups if you had like a favorable 1v1 matchup for the plus damage. It's not so much the movement speed, it's the plus damage, which is really nice.
Dude, just go casual Chrysalis for the deeps.
But like for 900 gold, getting what plus 24 damage, I think phase boots is. It's pretty nice, but at the same time, you're not getting much benefit from.
Oh, here comes the ancient stack. So Tinker actually has his BOTs. I don't know. Actually, oh, he got the double kill on bottom. That was really good.
Tinker's back in the
He has a soul ring too, and 700 gold. This is before the ancient stack.
He's top of net worth. He's got almost doubling the win net worth.
What just happened to him? He was like getting demolished in mid, and then just like one double kill just completely changed around the game.
And Winra is playing scared now. Doesn't want to move out the lane. This is really, I guess, the weakness of this Windrunner solo mid, which if this is something like a Puck, sure, Puck won't win the lane as well as a Windrunner can, because Windrunner has such good base damage as well as attack animation, but Puck can guarantee you kills, can control the game a lot better than a Windrunner.
And Puck has a better time escaping too. I'm actually surprised that Joikernaughts has not really contested the ancient stack at all. They haven't warded it, they haven't smoke ganked it, they haven't even scouted it at all. And it's not like they don't have the things to do it. They have Visage Bear, or sorry, Spirit Bear, they have Visage Birds, they have Chen Creeps. They should be able to scout. You always want to be cognizant of what your opponent's up to and like, oh, how in the world did he get so much farm? You don't want to be stuck in that position where he has BOTs and a blink and you're like, oh my goodness, why didn't we do anything about this? And he almost does have his BOTs and blink. He has 1,800 gold right now.
It's not good news, especially the other thing with the Joikernaughts lineup, which we talked about when they first picked this gen, is they want to go kind of early game push strat. Sure, they've got 2 carries and Lifesteal Alone Druid, but these are carries which can offer them a lot of early towers to get really far ahead, but we've only seen the one T1 tower bottom, which is pretty much a freebie because it's your safe lane. And past that, they haven't pushed anything, and we're 30 minutes in. Then just now trying to get this T1 mid tower, but here come No Love, ready to try and at least make a defense of this with Tinker Boots travel up. Maybe they can do that. His
It's
TP
a little bit too late though. They have Naga Siren level 5.5. Maybe if they had Mart or Sleep. Ooh.
Lifesteal trying to go in here. Tinker, his TPX got cancelled because it was TPing to a Trine, and the Trine expired before the TP came off. If he came in on that first TP, they maybe could have held the tier 1. Nature's Prophet ultimate going to go flying, and this is another big problem. Tinker with Blink as well as March the Machine's just chasing him down, but it's not just the March, it's a Prophet ultimate which can come in at any time. You're just going to have all these heroes suddenly down to half HP from Rockets, March, Prophet ultimate, and there's no mech up just yet.
Yeah, I think Tinker was there a little bit late for that fight, but I mean, I think if he's actually there on time, there's no way that Joikernaughts can push. They don't have the gold advantage right now. They have 3,000, but that's certainly not enough to push through that. And let's check their mech status. Chen actually went for Arcane Boots early instead of a mech, so that will be delayed for probably another 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's starting to get some pieces. He's got his headdress, I think, so he needs another 900 gold, but he also wants to be pushing as soon as possible. And, well, pushing isn't going to happen. You've got a level 11 Tinker, about to hit level 12 with Blink Boots of Travel, and he's just going to go wherever the pushes go.
And Midas is up on Nature's Prophet too. I talked about this lineup being like a little bit more difficult to execute, but the heroes that I were really relying on, Nature's Prophet and Tinker, have been performing pretty well, outside from Tinker getting out CS in middle very, very hard. Nature's Prophet hasn't died yet. He's picked up as Midas at a reasonable time. Tinker has got his blinks and Boots of Travel very, very fast, and now the push attempts.
This is going to be difficult. There's a Jakiro Ice Path. They're going to just blow up this winner. It looks like he doesn't really stand much of a chance. He's sprouted up. Rockets finish him off, and this is also now level 4 Rockets, which is great for doing burst damage to some of these heroes. And, well, they get a kill. He immediately fires back. Jakiro gets entangled up. He may take a fall, but Naga Siren sleep.
Wow, what a time to see.
And
here
the
it
March
goes.
of the Machine setup is going to be spot on from these heroes here. Visage is looking for some kills with Soul or something, but he's forced away. He may just go on this Nature's Prophet. The Shackle does not land, but there's an easy kill, easy pickup. Nature's Prophet immediately buying back, wants to come back into the fray, but
these longer and longer fights, like Tinker just really outshines because he can heal and come back, whereas everyone's like out of HP, out of mana, or has to buy back. He can just come right back in, and they didn't actually get anywhere close to pushing the tower that time, and I think that's going to be the story for most of the game here for Joikernaughts. I think it's a big waste of time for them to just push in the March of Machines. Just don't do it.
Right? Joikernaughts, they can't really win fights or kill heroes without shackle shots, and that's not really a guaranteed initiation. Visage, I'm constantly seeing him. He's got full damage on this soul assumption, but he can never really find good targets to use it on, just because they don't have that stun, they don't have that initiation or any way of actually isolating heroes. Tinker's never going to get caught out. He's got his Blink Dagger. He's always in trees or whatever, and Jakiro just sits back with Ice Paths and nukes, and Weaver's just hard to lock down because of his Shikuchi.
Yeah, things are looking very, very bad for Joikernaughts. The score's only 6-6, and the
They're
gold,
ahead, but
the gold is in favor of them, but you can
They're-
definitely see the momentum shifting.
Yeah.
And like one of their main things, the pushing is like pretty much gone to them. They got the T1 in middle right before Tinker got his blink. I think he was like farming the last little bit of gold for that. But after that, like the T1 top was just a complete failure by Joikernaughts.
Yeah, the 3,000 gold lead's very misleading. The way this gold graph should look is just a constant uphill slope because of the way that they should be taking tower after tower. They shouldn't be really giving away a lot of farm. There shouldn't be much that
Oh, bottom lane.
Joikernaughts are getting. Lifesteal tried to go for a kill here, but the ensnare helped get him away. It's just not enough, this lead of theirs, and there's just such great split push and just global presence from No Love that they can just be annoying and pesky.
Yeah, and I don't think the Syllabear is farmed enough too. He's 0-1-0, he has 2,300 gold, but if you were to get Radiance right now, it would probably be what, like a 22-minute Radiance?
Yeah.
It's gonna be pretty slow.
Do you think he should still go for the? Do you think that's the build he should go for here?
I don't know. It's very difficult to say. I think they just need to pick up kills on very important heroes, whether it be Tinker. I mean, it'll stop his Martian machines, and his bear won't get affected by laser as much, but I think it's just a little bit too late. I'm trying to think of what build would be better. I still think it's probably the best given the situation, but ideally you'd want it by 20 at the latest in this sort of situation. Free farming versus Nature's Prophet.
It's a completely useless game for a Basher build. There's no one you're trying to really lock. I mean, you want to lock down Tinker and Prophet, but they're not going to be fighting the bear.
Yeah. And they need to be able to counter the split push from Tinker and Nature's Prophet by doing some split pushing of their own, and Radiance is really good for that.
It seems to be the only way. Radiance, AC, then after that, maybe you get some just pure damage for pushing towers, whatever that may be. But MKB, so the laser doesn't affect you as much. But that's a long way in the makings here. Joikernaughts going to be just worried about what they're going to do the next 5-10 minutes, how they're going to just sort of solve this Tinker Nature's Prophet problem.
Yeah, the one saving grace for them is that the Weaver is very, very underfarmed right now. Sitting at Phase Boots, Ring of Bacillus. He has 720 HP, almost 20 minutes in. He has 0-3-2, not a kill yet to his name.
Tinker, he doesn't even worry about going straight for Hex. He picks up a Ghost Scepter.
Ghost Scepter is a very good choice here. Like Lone Druid and Lifestealer can't do anything versus it. They can't really stun lock him for 100-0 unless he gets hit by a Shackle Shot, but he has Blink for that. So I think it's a pretty good pickup. They're not in really any rush to make anything happen.
Yeah.
All they need to do is just all they need to do is eventually get a sheep on Tinker and protect their towers and prevent the other team from doing Roach. But those are all fairly easy tasks if you're at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like there's like a time limit where he has to have the Hex
so
by
finally,
this time.
finally they drop a ward, but I think it's a little bit too late. He's going to drop a sentry. He's going to get dewarded before the 19-minute mark. They should have been doing this like 15 minutes ago, not at the 19-minute mark. And whenever another team has a Tinker, you always have to watch the Ancient stack, especially when their triple lane's on the bottom.
We are going to see them start pushing towards his top tower. Be interesting to see if this push goes any better. They've got the mech up on Chen. He's level 7, so
Tinker has to be there like right now.
Yeah, he's a bit late getting there, which...
Okay, there he goes.
Could be just in time. There's no trees for him to really blink into, at least underneath. He's going to blink a bit further back and now starts laying down the march. Only level 1 rearm as well. I feel at this point he needs to start looking at that level 2 rearm just to help do this a bit faster. And they'll get the tier 1 tower here. There's a Raged Lifestealer. There's a Lone Druid Bear on this end. The dire side, Tinker slows it down. They don't save it.
But they're pushing so much faster.
Yeah.
No Love Gaming is pushing down middle right now. They've already taken the T1 on bottom, and Tinker's already defending at T2. They're just splitting up a lot better, forcing Joikernaught to retreat now.
Infested Lifestealer in the win run at mid lane. Didn't find the Shackle Shot though. That latches, Lifestealer pops out, they go for the kill. And that T1 tower push means absolutely nothing to No Love. They couldn't care less. It's the tower furthest away from Roshan. It's an invaluable tower to them.
Looks like there's a little bit of action going on top.
Forced to pop his Hand of God to keep himself alive. Weaver's going to still go for this kill. There's no mech for 2 seconds, so Chen goes down, as does Jakiro. 1-for-1 trade so far, and Visage trying to block the Weaver. Weaver cops a Soul Assumption, takes a lot of damage. Sprout not going to latch. Visage using that Grave Chill to give him some extra movement speed, scurries himself away. 1-for-1 trade in the top river, not really anything to write home about, but we're going to see DK on that win run, at least try and just slow down any sort of a push at mid lane. But this is going to get really tough. Prophet's just going to keep on farming. He'll have his Shadow Blade soon. I almost feel it's a little bit slower now, given the space that he's had and the pushing that's been going on. But once it's up, he just keeps on. He can push and farm all over the map even more just scot-free.
One of the reasons why I think OD is a somewhat overrated hero is because look at how bad like the Windrunner crushed the Tinker in mid, and look how effective the Windrunner is right now. All she has is phase boost, 4-staff bottle, sitting at 1, 2, and 1, and this Tinker has like so much more net worth. I'm checking it out right now. 10,300 net worth for him. Almost like 4,000, around 3,500 more net worth than the Windrunner, and that's like just like 10 minutes after laning phase, and it's just incredible how much more effective this Tinker is, even though he lost his lane.
It's one of the. It's really interesting, and it's a good example to show like a lot of players and viewers out there where you can be such a great laning mid player in that 1v1 matchup, because Windrunner should not win that 1v1 matchup as hard as he did, but if you don't have a good sort of game sense and move around the map and be effective, it doesn't matter how good of a solo mid player you are, and that's something which
CSing skills will only get you so far.
Exactly.
And there's a Shadow Blade pickup on the Nature's Prophet too, so he's doing fantastically.
Yeah, he'll go back to base, pick that up. And I feel like the level advantage, it's gone completely the other direction.
There's a Dagon on Tinker. Screw the Hex.
F-Blade Dagon 5-time. All right.
Yeah, I'm very surprised that he went this build for a couple of reasons. Firstly, he's versus a Lifestealer with the Armlet toggle, and it's very difficult to burst them through that amount of HP. Secondly, there's a Visage with a Cloak, and there's a Lone Druid. Lone Druid has like a ton of HP, so Dagon is not as effective versus him versus other heroes. But I mean, he can pretty much just do whatever he wants, considering he's probably the most farmed hero in the game right now.
Yeah, I think it's the Ultra 50-minute plan where you go F-Blade Dagon 5, and I think he figures he'll have it eventually. He can even just use it to help kill this Spirit Bear if he really wants to. Spirit Bear does have a relic on him, so Lone Druid will be having that Radiance around 23-24 minutes, and he's doing just fine here.
Yeah, I mean, if he tries to split push it, the problem with that is like Nature's Propping his Shadow Blade, pop it, and then sprout it, and that's like such a long disable for the bear. I don't know why he didn't get Quelling Blade. Quelling Blade is just a really effective. It's not like he doesn't have slots for his bear. Firstly, he has 2 empty slots on his bear. It's really good versus Nature's Prophet, and it's really good just for farming faster. One of the reasons he's farming so slow is either he's inefficient because he doesn't have Quelling Blade, his like rotations are poor, and they don't really have as many towers as they should at this point.
Well, we're seeing No Love. They're just being so efficient. If you just look at the minimap, they have 5 heroes in different places farming. Like Nagasaran just stacked the Ancients. Tinker was at mid. 2 heroes in different places in the neutrals, and 1 hero farming top. It's just, they're being more efficient with their time. They're using this to catch up. The gold graph is starting to dip downwards, and the Joikernaughts just, their backup plan just seems to be to farm. And they have got these dual core carries with the Lifestealer and the Lone Druid, but I don't see them doing very well against Prophet, Tinker, Weaver, and Nagasaran. They've just got too much kiting potential.
And it looks like Weaver's actually going for BKB. I don't really think BKB is necessary here, unless you get hit by Shackle, but there's nothing really else that should kill you. If you take a lot of damage, you just time-lapse, and otherwise you just kite around. So I think he can actually do some damage, but I think maybe it's just like the poor start just forces him into a much more defensive mindset than he should be.
And if you get getting hit by the Shackle,
Blink Shackle.
DK being out of it. Nice Blink Shackle. DK, wow. Interesting item build coming out from him. And this is what they need. We talked about they need initiation. Blink on the Windrunner is just that. You can even have the Infest coming in from Life. So Courier, he blinks against the Courier at the secret shop. That Blink just paid for itself almost as a Courier kill for the whole team. Everyone getting a couple hundred gold each. And well, they're not done. They want this Windrunner, and Windrunner shackled to a tree up on the high ground. He's going to take a fall.
I mean, there was no reason for him to be there. He could have TP'd out a very long time ago, but just I'm not a big fan of this Weaver's play. Dying way too many times unnecessarily.
Smoke gank now. They may be a bit too close to that creep wave when they use that smoke. Not sure if it would have spotted them out here, but they'll use it nonetheless. This Windrunner build is, for this game, I feel it's perfect. It's often you see Blink Dagger as like a kind of gimmicky late game item on Windrunner or just like a kind of joke thing, but this is essential for this Radiant team if they want to get any kills or even just stop this Tinker from his sort of tree blink.
Oh, they scout him out. They pinged out. They're smoked right now, but they have a sentry ward as well as a reward. Pinged him out on the hill. The sentry ward dropped a little bit.
They see those 3 heroes. They don't know the Windrunner's here though. Windrunner's stuck past.
Oh yeah, and she has a blink. She has a payload inside. Oh, they need to kill the Tinker though.
Not gonna count.
I don't think they can kill the Tinker. If he just goes after it, even if he's shackled, it doesn't matter. They can't kill him.
Well, if you get the Shackle to actually latch onto something, they can maybe kill him fast enough with the Lifestealer Infest, but that's still gonna be hard. He's gonna start dropping the march. It's a bit late to drop the march. They'll get this tower anyway. So Joikernaughts, I feel like that was a good sequence of play from them. They got the kill at top lane. They get a tier 2 tower following it. Maybe even start thinking about going for Roshan sometime in the near future.
Oh yeah, they definitely should. Roshan is such a big deal in this sort of slower paced game. where lives are much more important. Well, we see the Radiance up on the Bear. Is it split pushing anywhere? Looks like it's just healing right now, almost dead. And still a Bear, I think, is going to be actually a pretty big factor too, sitting at 1,500 gold right now. And I mean, they're trying to look for kills with the aggressive item build for the Windrunner, but NL is just trying to just farm up. They're in no rush, and once the global and the global mobility plays out, I think that they should come out ahead.
Yeah, we've close to that BKB. And once he has that, it'll be a bit more survivable. You have to react so fast, though, to a Blink Shackle, though. So even with a BKB, it's not guaranteed to survive. But in general, this is Prophet and Tinker who are going to be looking to take this late game. I'm curious to see Tinker if he goes straight for the Dagon 5 or just goes back for a Hex now. He hasn't really used the Dagon for much, so...
Yeah, I mean, I think the Hex is just much safer.
Yeah.
And you can like kill the Bear more easily with it too.
It'll come down to whether he's like, okay, this Hex was a bit silly. Let's just... Oh, sorry, the Dagon was a bit silly. Let's just finish my Hex, then get the Dagon. But... Or he just goes fully commits to a Dagon
And they're
5.
scouting with the Hellbear Smasher. Again, it's just a little bit too late. Last time they made a move at the Ancient Stack was about 19 minutes when they dropped the Observer Ward and it got dewarded, and now it's 27. It's just like 2 times in 30 minutes where they try and mess with the Ancient Stack, and Tinker just has been given way too much space.
Well, as much as... Yeah, Tinker's been given a lot of space here. I think Joikernaughts, are recognizing the fact they can't push and just looking to back off and farm. They're trying to get map control at the same time, which is a good way to play this. They've got the gem on the Chen. They can deward as much of the map as possible and just look to get these late game items. The Assault Crest on Lone Druid, Lifestealer, probably, he's going straight for the Abyssal Blade. That's how you're going to kill these heroes, if he can actually latch onto someone.
That would be good. If he can just Abyssal the Tinker. Tinker is like the most important hero for them to kill. But even if they do that, he still has buyback and he has BOT, so he can be right back in the fight if he's very conservative about his gold. And looks like Tinker has picked up a Mystic Staff. So again, the Dagon doesn't really suit him that well, especially with the way the team fight's been going on. It's only 15 kills in 27 minutes. When there's a lot of action, like 1 kill a minute, then yeah, I think Dagon's a good choice. But when it's just like a very, very slow-paced game where people are just moving around as 5, you have to go for the longer and harder disables.
Well, Radiant Smoke Gank. They're near the enemy secret shop here. Lifesteal actually pokes a bit too far out. He's going to actually reveal himself. I don't know if they can go on the Naga Siren, though. They need to hit a Shackle. Otherwise, it's just going to be a Song of the Siren. Oh, what a shackle. DK gets the 2-hero Shackle. They still need to kill Naga before they sleep. They do just that. Ice Path comes out. Doesn't actually hit the winner. And DK taking a lot of damage. Here comes the first heal. Hand of God gets used, but he's still being chased by the Weaver. Meanwhile, on the back lines, it's Jakiro taking the Lifestealer to the face. Lifestealer gets slowed down by an Ice Path. 1 Soul Assumption. Is there enough damage? Just. They kill off the Jakiro. They only get 2 supports, though, for a winner. So, end of the day, it's not a fantastic fight. They have to deal with the split push coming from top lane. Prophet is there, and Windrunner buys back as well. So,
yeah, that's a really good fight for NL, I think.
Yeah, it looked fantastic for Joikernaughts when they get that Windrunner Shackle initiation.
Are they gonna sneak in Roshan? Oh no. They're trying to split push bottom.
Something this Radiance does offer is a way to cancel the Tinker's Blink, which could be very useful as well, though.
Well, it looks like they're only going to push 4 strong, which is very surprising. They don't have Glyph up for another minute, and THC has now revived.
I think they're just using Lone Druid only, and if Lone Druid gets in trouble, they'll send him back. Chen's there for the send back. Need to get that send back now. Oh, they're going to be too slow.
Need to get this. No send back.
He was just sitting there for about 10 seconds. Like, that was the plan. Lone Druid, you push tower. If you get in trouble, I'll
they're going to lose a gem here, too. This is huge.
Man,
Goodness.
This is the biggest mistake the Joikernaughts have made so far this game. That is so costly for them.
Yeah, I don't think they actually needed to buy back on the Windrunner there at all. Like, the Windrunner, all she did was buy back and then push top, and I think it kind of gave their team like a false sense of like an illusion that, oh, we bought back, we should try and make something happen, and they tried to make something happen, but that was not the right time. Score is 10-10, gold, still in favor of Joikernaughts, but again, both guys and I think that NL probably has this game.
The goal graph is also a bit misleading because it doesn't show stuff like those buybacks that get used, which the gold loss isn't really taken into account. It just shows that the Joikernaughts have been getting a bit more gold from towers, from farm, but how that gold is being used is a lot.
Oh, is he going to go for a steal right here?
No deny.
I think he did try to go for the...
The Revenants were, I think, scouting. I actually lost. I think Visage... No, his Familiars... Okay, he lost just one of them. Winner was trying to make up for his poor mid game by maybe going for an Aegis still there.
Well, there's a gem on Jakiro. He's about to scout out the Observer Ward or not.
And Prophet's picked up his Hex now. So 1 Hex is up. And Tinker hasn't gone straight for the Dagon 5. He's picked up a Mystic Staff, so we'll be seeing...
I don't think they need the Aegis on the Weaver. I really don't understand why they gave it to him. He doesn't really do anything, I'd say. I think that Nature's Prophet or Tinker would be way better suited. Tinker's almost out of item slots though, so it's understandable why he didn't pick it up.
I think for Prophet, it's like their game plan is going to be split push. So if Prophet dies once, he's going to die twice because generally he's going to be alone. I mean, maybe there's a very small chance Prophet will die in a team fight scenario, but more likely he's going to die from split pushing.
Yeah, and
Entangle at mid lane. They're going to lose Naga Siren here. That was just taking a casual roam and then in the woods.
Trying to play some more wrong place at wrong time though. And they ping on the mid tower. They want to go to T3, but there are two sides of Vice up. One on the Nature's Prophet, one on the Tinker, and they are pressuring both of the T2s right now. Tinker has to get back right now, start casting marches so that they can't do it.
Yeah, they've already decided to not go for the push here. As the Radiant team TJ are back defending this tier 2 push, Prophet TPing in, and well, immediate retreat.
It's just a terrible idea pushing. It was a terrible idea pushing 20 minutes ago. It's still a terrible idea pushing because they have the Aegis, they have the Tinker, they have the double side device, and they have the split push. And Joikernaughts, I mean, they're kind of at a loss as to what to do right now. It's a little bit too late to make up for past mistakes, and they just really need to rely on NL making mistakes, whether it's catching Tinker out without a buyback, or just smoke yanking the Tinker when he plays too carelessly, or punishing the Nature's Prophet while he's trying to split push. Either of those would be really good for them right now.
Yeah. I still think they have their ways of winning this game. Just they're farming well enough, and they have heroes with you get Visage with an Aghanim Step to have the 3 birds up, have a Hex on the Windrunner. Hex is going to be the big item for them, I feel. Hex on the Windrunner, Abyssal Blade on the Lifesteal very, very soon. And
Blink Sheep is like really good at picking out split push.
Yeah. So
they can still come back.
I feel like, I think we're maybe not so much, we're not calling it by any means, but it's one of those things where I think the Joikernaughts still have a decent game plan here. They're going to have some very key items up soon, including that Assault Crest on the Druid. So they're actually, if they can just catch heroes out, they'll be just fine, but it's whether or not they can do that.
Yep, and it looks like T2 is under siege. Looks like on top they're not forced to retreat.
Windrunner caught out. He had a Lifestealer infested. Can they keep Windrunner alive? No, they cannot. Lifestealer's trying to go on the Jakiro here, but he can't even get
What
Jakiro.
a sprout!
Great sprout. He now gets back to the just up for Weaver here, but Weaver's on the Aegis, so even if he dies, it doesn't matter. He needs to just fight. Why are you running, Weaver? You've got an Aegis, 4 heroes dead, only the lone druid left. He loses his Spirit Bear, and he's going to die as well.
This is a 5-0 fight. My goodness. Wow. That sprout was actually like phenomenal. It was on the Nate while he was braved, split him up from the THD so that the THD could survive, and then the THD was able to follow up with a very nice Ice Breath and Dual Breath to finish those 2 weak heroes off. So, I mean, Furion has been making plays. He's only 1-1, but that was very crucial for them winning that fight. And now, I mean, they were in a defensive position most of the game. Now that they have their items, it's just that was
Tinker blinks him with a Dagon 3.
I mean, he just got his sheep too. 9-0 and 4 on the Tinker. His CSing might be weak, but everything else was just like spot on. He didn't get caught out. He did the Ancient Sex when he needed to. He defended most of the pushes, even when his team wasn't there sometimes. He was involved in a lot of kills.
I'll take the mid player who can make the better mid to late game decisions over the better mid player who's better at CS.
You got like 10 more denies.
Yeah, 10 times out of 10. This is the guy who will win you the games even if he won't win his lane.
I think a lot of people overrate the CS ability in middle. I mean, it's important, especially for heroes like Shadow Fiend, but once you get to a certain point, like CSing is going to be close regardless of the player matchup, and it really just comes down to the mid-game decisions, and Tinker has excelled at that by far.
Yeah, well, Tinker's just done fantastic, and we're seeing mid-Raxus go down. This is going to be very hard for the Radiant team to come back from, as that... It was one of those things where that fight just started off horribly. Windrunner getting caught up. They're going to try and find the Nature's Prophet.
Easy. Get a free kill.
Easy kill for them at top lane.
But I mean, that's the first time or second time that Nature's Prophet has died. He's been pushing most of the game with the Shadow Blade, and I haven't really seen any dust or sentries after that initial gem pickup. And I mean, Tinker is just dagoning creeps at this point.
They've got lots of sentries now. Visage with 4 of them on him. And it looks like they want to try and push here. Lifestealer picked up a Hyperstone rather than going for the Abyssal Blade, which I don't like because Lone Druid's going the Assault Crest, so he could go for a Mjolnir, but Abyssal Blade is just going to do so much more than a Mjolnir.
Well, here goes a March spam. Good luck pushing into that, buddies.
They will quickly realize they need to run away from these chomping little machines.
Yeah, I mean, Marching Machines is just such a good skill. Tinker's a good hero. I don't know why he's not picked off.
Bottom lane, Weaver died. Weaver lost his Aegis at bottom.
To what, bashes? I guess so.
It must have been bashes, because now Lone Druid's TP, and they're going to try and chase him down. He has got time lapse still.
And they just lost a Rax for nothing. I mean, they got the Aegis, but whoopsie-doo.
Yeah.
Roshan is about to hit the 6-minute mark in just about 30 seconds.
that
Oh, he's
Weaver,
going to die again.
shackle, the blinked shackles.
As good as this Tinker's been playing, this Weaver has, like, not been playing. Like, he died twice in lane for, like, no good reason at all. He went BKB when it didn't really save him because he still dies a lot. And there's still a lot of physical damage from the Lone Druid as well as the bats and the Life Stealer. So, I mean, I think that if this Weaver player were stronger, maybe it's just a bad game, but I think they can, definitely take top 4 if he cleans up his play.
He was dying to dual lanes and stuff. It wasn't good, but
yeah,
I don't know.
His farm has been relatively slow. All he has is BKB. And does he have anything in stash? Like, I'm looking at his inventory right now, and it's just Bassi, Phase Boots, Magic Wand.
There's a Deso
BKB.
on ground. I think that's his Deso.
I was about to say, if that's all he has 36 minutes in, then that is very, very sad.
He's still not had a good game. So some of my Australian friends would say he's being a bit of a sack. it's the not so politically correct way of saying he's being a bit useless. But
they're Dagon 5 up on Tinker. Look at where he's playing up right now. He's just like going up to the T2, just like whatever. I don't care. Doesn't matter.
Now he blinks away, but he's not afraid of too much. He should be a bit afraid because Winner with well, I guess he can disjoint. Well, not so much as disjoint the shackle, but if he has fast reactions, he's going to blink away when that shackle comes out. But even so, very, very ballsy.
Windrunner still trying to get her sheepstick, just very, very slow at this point. Oh, trying to go for the blink. Where was it? I think he could have just approached her in a fog and then blink sheep instead of doing what
That's true, yeah. I didn't even realize he had the sheep. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, a little bit of lull in the action. Aegis is down. Roshan is not up. So maybe they're just waiting for next Roshan. About 2.5 minutes on that timer. The only T2 left standing. Oh,
no ice path. Immediate retreat. They're just hunting chain creeps. There's your action.
Dag on that one. Dag on them. I thought he was going to dag on the Wildkin, but that's a little bit too risky.
Let's not get crazy now, Ben.
Hey, they've been going crazy. Well, Desolator up on the Weaver. Let's check out.
This will help him siege a lot, having a Desolator on him.
Yeah. Has he really been doing sieging, though? Has he been doing anything?
It's being a sack.
He's being a sack indeed.
Well, it seems they want to wait for Roshan. I think this next Roshan will be what No Love will use to win them this game. They're far enough ahead now. They've got about a 5,000 gold lead, which isn't much for 40 minutes in the game, but they've just.
It feels like a lot more though.
Yeah, if you're looking at this is where the gold graph doesn't really tell the whole story.
Yeah. And, I mean, Tinker's almost like 6-letter right now. Well, I guess he can replace his Soul Ring for something else. But once he gets his EB, just EB Dagon, and then almost everybody's dead on that team. And if you need to do it on Nakes because he has Magic Immunity, you just keep him before. No problem.
Yeah, absolutely. This Hex Dagon 5 is just going to be brutal to the Joikernaughts. They don't even have... Windrunner Shackle is the only real counter-initiation. So they have maybe some well-placed familiars, but with the blink, you can never really have, unless you anticipate perfectly or just luck out, you're not going to have the familiars in the right spot to stop the tick.
So where is the gem? I mean, I know that Chen had it before and TFG picked it up before. It's not. I'm looking at all the items. I don't see it on the Dire side at all either.
They must have left. Did they leave it at base?
I'm looking in the base right now. Okay. I don't see it. Well, the gem is nowhere to be found, and it would have been very useful. I'm going to spend
the next 2 minutes just trying to find
There's a lot of wards out. There's like 5 wards out in like this small circle that I'm drawing out, but. Yeah, where's the gem? If anyone can find the gem, then please let us know. We are at a loss.
And my John's going to just look all around the map and try and find this gem for us.
It's not on the Spirit Bear.
Can we see stashes? Maybe it's in someone's stash. You know...
it could be. I'm clicking on all the heroes, though. Nope, I don't see it. Where did the gem go? Well, that is a mystery that may or may not be solved ever. Are you still looking?
Yeah, I'm still looking.
I can't find it.
Just keep casting. I'll be back to it in a couple minutes.
Okay, well, we have 30 seconds left until Roshan. We see Visage Birds already there to scout it out, but I don't think NL can, or I think that NL can hold that fight like whatever TJ throws at them, because they have the Martian Machines, which is great for static positioning like that, and chokes. So yeah, both of those are like kind of forced to stay around the Roshan pit and clump up. And then they have the Song of the Siren Sleep too. So like both of those things are just really, really crucial for NL if they want to hold the team fight there. And I mean, they have the Weaver with the Deso, they have the Nature's Prophet Treants. I don't really think that they're worried at all at this Roshan fight.
Yeah, something they can do if they really want to use that. If Lifesteal comes in rage, just use the Naga Siren, Song of the Siren, so you can focus him down because the sleep doesn't affect him while he's in the rage form. And they have enough damage. Now with this Deso on Weaver, the Ensnare, that they could kill him with Nature's Prophet as well. Demon Edge is up, so we'll be seeing that Daedalus or MKB.
Yep, and Vinceburg scouted out. They know they're doing it, but it's at like 20% right now. There is absolutely no way that Joikernaughts can contest this.
They're just going to use this knowledge to push out these lanes a bit more aggressively. And even so, it's just Lone Druid Spirit Beast pushing out the top lane with its Radiance. And
I mean, it looks like Joikernaughts like early game was pretty solid. They picked up a couple kills in the triple lane, but actually, I don't actually know if it went well for them because the Weaver is just like, was it the Weaver playing bad or them playing good?
The Chen played fantastic this game. To me, he was the standout player of this Radiant team. But I think picking that Windrunner as their last pick was a bit of was the start of their problems. Windrunner laned all right, but just hasn't had the impact needed and had to go this 4-star Blink Dagger build to even contribute in team fights. So
yeah,
if they'd gone for a puck, it would have been a completely different story.
Yeah, I definitely think so too. I also think that they were just not prepared for the Tinker pick. It kind of threw a wrench into their plans because they can't push and they also can't stop his farm because they don't have that aggressive of a lineup that early. And I think if they want to run a similar strat like this, they absolutely have to ban Tinker or just do a better job of actually killing him. Windrunner out CS'd him in mid very, very hard, but they didn't actually get any kills on him. He hasn't died yet this game.
Well, it looks like now's the time for No Love to try and end this game. They're pushing in towards this top lane. Tinker going to start laying down the march of the machines, and defending this will not be easy. Windrunner DK does have an infested lifesteal inside of him. We'll be looking for a Blink, 2-hero Shackle Shot, or at least a 1-hero into trees, but right now, defending this seems to come down all to the Windrunner in my eyes.
Yep, and there comes the constant marchman with a split push from the Nature's Prophet. All they needed...
Oh, they found Windrunner. Is there Hex Dust and a gem? Windrunner, there's your gem. I think it's actually a new gem potentially bought out. They're going to get the profit. And during this time, no damage done to the top lane. Weaver only just now going in, but he knows that he doesn't have to worry about the Windrunner immediately. So gets a little bit of damage done, but very, very minimal. Even gets forced to time lapse away. So really smart play from Joikernaughts.
Yeah. Indeed, I think that it has to be Tinker the one split pushing and not Nature's Prophet. I don't think that they knew they had the gem, but now with that knowledge, you can't escape from the Blink Shackle Shot and the Nakes. You have to rely on the Tinker to do that.
The question is this the missing gem or is this a new gem?
I don't know. Owned by Joik. I think it's the old gem. So
maybe Chen bought the second gem because Chen hasn't bought any items in a long, long time.
It's a new gem. Okay, so
I'm not sure.
So NY John says new gem, and we don't know where the old gem is. It's still a mystery. The old gem. Where are you?
Yeah.
Well, maybe they need a mini-map icon for spectators when they drop it on the ground.
We got the DD rune on mini-map. We need like a gem icon. Volvo, please.
They need to kill this bear too. Like the bear has just been split pushing, but they haven't been able to like do anything to it. I think that Nature's Prophet can just punish it once. Just sheep the bear, kill it, and then still a bear won't do it again because it's just way too risky at that point. Well, here it goes with this push. I also don't think that they need to push up top. I think they can just go through mid where there is like a lot more spacious and they don't have to line up with shackle shots and things can be a lot easier. And then they can just send whatever they want to the side lanes to push. Yeah. Whether it be Naga Siren Illusions, Force of Nature Treants, a Tinker with his Blink. Like they can just do so many things in order to split push instead of trying to brute force it kind of like this.
Yeah, this brute force is not really working.
And Nature's Prophet about to die again.
Oh, yeah. This is... They're reading them really well. Tinker's actually come in this time with F-Blade, Dagon 5 Hexes. He needs to get... He blows one up. He couldn't even get this other kill. He's got the Chain Hex should he need it. Windrunner buys back, needs to come in soon. Tinker. He's getting a bit low on mana here, so he's just going to decide to back off, but they've come up with a plan to deal with this. Gem on the ground. This gem, I'm not losing sight of.
Oh, is he going to die from the Visit Birds? Oh. Visit Birds again. Man, that thing owns on this. I mean, this is a good hero, but it looks like he's like way better versus Naga because of those magic immune birds. Dang. Are they not supposed to get slept? Like, why are they slept? They're not magic immune.
They're partially.
I've seen them get stunned before. I'm not necessarily sure. Let me click on the birds, see if I can find out any information about them.
I remember there was a difference between like magic immune and magic resistant. Yeah, this gem we're not losing, Ben. At bottom lane.
Many stuns and slows have no effect on familiars, so they're immune to stuns and slows, but not sleep, apparently.
Gem located, Dire base.
Oh, gem, Dire base. I don't see it. Do you see it? I'm looking around in their base. Oh, there it is. We found it.
Oh.
Okay. Well, there's a missing gem. Well, congratulations. Thanks, NY John. Doing what Gaza and I could not do for like 5 minutes. I think my Kindle was just
I'm glad I found that. That was bothering me. Every time there's like a lull in action, I just start like hovering around the map trying to find
Who puts it right there? Well, some things we'll never know.
Who knows? Well, the push failed, and they still have Aegis, but This is where you said, why would you give Weaver the Aegis?
He is still useless. He was useless 30
Oh,
minutes
he's
ago,
dead.
and he is useless now.
He used the Aegis. He had a minute left on the Aegis. Is he dying twice?
If he gets Abyssal, he's dead. Well, there's Abyssal. Oh, wait, no, maybe he's not dead.
Time lapse? No.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay, well, yeah, he's dead again. I mean, come on,
Time
Weaver.
lapse would have saved him, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe.
They didn't have Hex. They didn't have Hex either.
His BK, he would have gone back to like the heroes. Like he was trying to just outrun them, so his time lapse would have taken them back in. But
I mean, it's.
I thought he was actually going to live because until I didn't take into account the blink. He almost lived that way, but
Yeah. I mean, he just died twice.
either way, being there.
I'm unimpressed with your play, Weaver. Step it up. Step it up here. Well, they've been a little bit lackadaisical about like ancient stacking, but Tinker has his EB. He has enough for buyback. He doesn't have an Aegis though. I think he can just get a Shivas if he wanted to. Other than a Mantis style. Mantis style would be good too. I like Mantis style on Tinker. I think owns.
That's one way of actually sieging the base here as well. He's got the burst damage he needs, but at some point he's not going to need the Soul Ring as much anymore. Alternatively, I feel like the Shivas
bottom
guard is
lane,
too valuable.
Windrunner. It's in a lot of trouble. Where was the first Dagon? He didn't actually Dagon him the first time. I don't know why. But if he had done that, he could have easily picked up a kill. Well,
he's also at the same time very afraid. But if you're going on the Windrunner,
he hasn't died yet.
Yeah.
Does he have to be that afraid with buyback?
and when you're going on, the one thing he needs to be afraid of is Windrunner going for a blink shackle.
I guess he
But
doesn't know whether or
he-
not the Nake's inside of him.
Yeah, if he goes on the Windrunner, he should feel pretty safe because it's like, well, there's no one to stun me except Lifesteal with an Abyssal, but Lifestealer doesn't have blink or anything. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
Bit of a pause coming out now as Tinker just maybe that's what it was. He says lag and is reconnecting. So.
slow and methodical push. I mean, they're desperately trying to end the game.
Do we start getting worried for no love? Like,
I don't think so.
Okay.
Like the thing is, like Joikernaughts, they've been defending pushes, but they can't really do anything. They still can't leave their base. They still can't push. They still can't do Roshan, and they still can't really farm that effectively. So like none of these things are working out in their favor. I mean, Lone Druid is like getting some items. Let's check out what his bear has right now. It has a Radiance Cuirass. Like
it's had the crest for some time.
yeah, I mean it's 47 minutes in.
Yeah, it's not going. It's 3,000 gold, but no item you can get is really going to.
I mean, that's not compared.
big
Like,
difference.
look at the Tinker's net worth compared to his. It's probably ridiculous amounts.
I think
Well, Tinker
Lone
did
Druid
DC.
may as well just go for a hex or something. To be honest, like getting a basher or an MKB is only going to do so much. If you want to, the only way they're going to push out is by killing heroes. The only way they're killing these heroes is with hexes.
I mean, I think Nakes could honestly get a blink right now, and it would be pretty good. If you can kill the Tinker like more than once, then that's all they need. If they can kill him one time, that's good. They haven't killed him once at all. But all they need to do is just get like a blink instant initiate, whether it be a sheep or whether it be a abyssal from the lifestealer, and then they can take him down.
He's always going to have buyback, which makes it so hard as well.
Yeah, that's true.
This Tinker knows what he's doing. He's not going to. I mean, he's always putting himself in a position where he may die, but doing so, he's going to make sure he has buyback. And if he gets caught out, well, then they play safe. Then he'll play a bit safer for the next 3.
He has
4, 5
350 CS, 345,
minutes.
27,000 net worth.
Yeah, he's so far ahead of anyone else, and that's where the Radiant team have actually done okay, keeping Lifestealer and Lone Druid up to par. But Tinker's just
And Weaver's
so
been
far
number 5. Like that should not happen as your carry player on like the side that's like winning right now, especially with this many towers down, especially with feeding him the Aegis like a couple of times. Like he just shouldn't be this far behind.
well, yeah, I'm going to see the game continue on now. Lifestealer, I don't know what he wants to do with his Hyperstone. I don't think Mjolnir is going to be the way to go here. You mentioned Blink Dagger. You've got those drums there, which you should just be selling off. And Boots of Travel against Split Push. Boots of Travel is going to become essential at some point, which is what we're going to need to see on Windrunner, Lifestealer, whoever it may be. Ooh, Tinker.
I also think that the Nature's Prophet hasn't actually been very proactive. He's been split pushing a lot, but he hasn't actually been making things happen. He's pretty much just reacting to the other team. Okay, they're over here. I'm going to split push. They're pushing. Hey, I'm going to push over here. But he's not actually like shadow blading and hexing people to pick off kills. I think that like with 2 hexes, like Nature's Prophet and Tinker can just like kill anybody on the map, and they shouldn't be able to like split push. Like Lone Druid isn't split pushing a little bit. Windrunner has to. They should not be able to do that. They should be scared for their lives of like everything.
Well, Windrunner's going to be seeing at this bottom lane, hoping for a Tinker TP maybe. Not going to find it immediately. Oh, he's baiting out the Tinker. He's hoping Tinker comes, goes for the kill, and Lifesteal's inside him.
There's no reason why the
Tinker gonna fall
Windrunner
for
would
this?
be out there alone though. Like
Yeah.
Tinker's been playing pretty smart this game. I don't think he's going to fall for such simple bait like this.
Oh, he's TPing, but he's not going to go in immediately, it looks like. I'm interested to see what Winner's going back.
Yeah. I mean, this Tinker definitely knows what he's doing, though.
Yeah, it's not like the first time we've seen a Lifesteal infested in the Windrunner. Tinker is not going to make this. If he doesn't see Lifesteal on the map, he's going to assume
They should pick up the gem. I don't
Lifesteal.
understand why No Love doesn't pick up the gem. They've had wards like in this area for like the last like 20 minutes, and the gem has just been sitting in the base. Thanks to NY John, like just right here. And if they can de-ward that, Joikernaught wouldn't be able to find like any sort of farm. They're not finding that much farm as is. Lone Druid's still pretty poor. Windrunner hasn't had that much item progression past the Scythe of Vice, but she probably even shouldn't have her Scythe of Vice right now with how far behind they were.
Yeah, this is going to be very, very difficult for the Dire team to find pickoffs when they giving the Reigning team all this vision. If they had no wards, it's like you say, Prophet. I think part of the reason Prophet's not able to help get these skills is because of this ward vision. Like they know where all these ganks are coming from because Prophet can't really kill anyone on his own. He's going to need Tinker or
I mean, they
someone
could
with him.
smoke too. Like, I don't understand why they don't smoke either. They have a couple in the inventory on the Naga Siren, but just playing like a little bit too passively. They aren't creating opportunities for themselves, which they should be, and they can.
Well, you're going to see the game continue on, Ben.
Well, Roshan spawns in less than a minute's time, so hopefully after this we will see some more blood.
Yeah,
and hopefully it's not Weaver dying twice.
He's been sacktastic so far.
Sacktastic indeed. He has the most deaths in the game right now. Like over like this Chen, over the Windrunner, who's playing pretty aggressively. Like the most deaths in the game.
Visage just picked up a Vlad's, which is a somewhat notable pickup. Just deciding to forgo the Aghanim Scepter. Having the extra birds and the bird stuns is nice, but if there's no actual engagement to use them in, the Vlad's can maybe offer a bit more, but
I think that Joikernaught can actually like try and split push a little bit more, not with their heroes because they can get picked up, but perhaps with the bear, it hasn't been punished yet, or with the Visage birds. Either of those I think would be good instead of just trying to stay in like this area of the map without getting anything accomplished.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't seen this Spirit Bear split push. I guess it is an easy target to pick off for the Tinker as well.
They haven't done it yet though.
Yeah. Well, it's with that said, it's 150 HP right now.
Oh,
he's picked up a.
There's a Roshan. It has spawn. Do they have vision? They have this one ward over here, but it won't spot anyone.
If you're a Radiant team, would you even try and contest this though?
I mean, you can't just let NL just keep getting further and further out. Well, I guess they can because Tinker's eventually going to be 6 slotted.
It's flat, even with the Aegises going to the Dire team, it's flattened out. Like, the Dire team aren't getting too much fatter. There's double smoke, so they're going to get the Aegis and then smoke up, it looks like.
Well, whose Aegis going to? Please don't tell me. Oh, and it's the...
Ooh,
that hurts. That's painful.
It is. It is.
Why wouldn't he just get a Lincoln? Again, the BKB doesn't save him because they can blink sheep him before he can react, or they can abyssal him through the BKB. So I think that BKB is not a pickup for every game, especially not this game.
I would rather they just go to this Naga Siren.
I would too. Even THD. THD has boosted travel and Ghost Scepter, Force and Mech. Like, look at that guy. Is he richer than the the Weaver?
Compare no word. No,
Weaver just picked up an item.
Yeah, we've had a lot of gold. He had about 4 or 5k gold save up. It's going to be a Manta style. I mean, this could be like a super slow siege item where you just keep sending illusions at the tower.
I feel like if they want to do that, then Tinker should get one too. Oh, it looks like Tinker is getting one. He has Ultimate Orb.
Cool. This is going to be the mass Mantas to end the game. I don't see anything else coming out.
I don't see what's wrong with that. I mean, Lone Druid is mostly single target, so is Lifestealer, so is Windrunner.
The problem with them pushing is they're getting initiated on and just killed. So using illusions to push is the safest way to push.
Yep, and to disable blinks.
Well, the Radiant team all have buybacks here. So basically, they don't want to fight this Radiant team. They all have buybacks. They're pretty damn tough right now. They have the lockdown they need with the Abyssal on Lifestealer, the Windrunner Shackle shots starting to latch on a lot more. And as a result, it's going to be split push and just be as annoying as possible. This is going to be like the ultimate Rat Dota game.
Yep. Oh, are they going to find him? Oh, what is Shackle?
They need the Abyssal soon.
They need the sheep on him.
Ethereal Blade, Abyssal. Yep. They can't. He's Ghost Scepter still.
Oh.
This is going to be very, very close. Lifesteal's going to take a fall here. Tinker is just... Oh, Shackle Shot hits 2, but they've already lost Lifestealer. The Familiars, use those Familiars. Could have used some stuns there.
Wow, what great positioning by Tinker there, being there in the fog.
They need double buyback. Yeah, they used double buyback.
This is the beginning of the end.
That was very close to going the way of the Joikernaughts. Even if they get the kill, it's a small victory because Tinker just immediately buys back. But that backfiring is the Joikernaughts in so much trouble. They're going to lose Toxin as well. Lifestealer goes down for a second time.
This
and
has
this
to be
is it.
GG. Yeah. There's
Dagon
no way you
5.
can come back from this.
This Tinker's just shooting lasers left, right, and center.
Yep. GG. Well played.
Oh, there we have it.
I think it took him way too long to close out that game, though. I think the Tinker played fantastically. I think that the Nature's Prophet was given a lot of space, but he didn't utilize it as well as he could have. I think that the supports played pretty well because there wasn't really anything else for them to do. And I think the Weaver played really poorly. So if their carry can step it up and Nature's Prophet can create as many opportunities as the Tinker, then I think we have a top-tier team with the MLG participants. But just judging by that game, there are a lot of chinks in their playstyle.
Yeah, it's going to be a really tight race. I feel some of these middle spots with 4 teams qualifying from the league to go to full scene. 4 of the 8 teams. That 3rd, 4th position slot is going to be so tight between some of these teams, and you can see No Love are one of those contenders. As for the Joikernaughts, it's hard to say how they'll match up against some of the other middle of the pack teams, so we can't really count them out yet. But that concludes game 1. We'll hand it back to NY John, our handy dandy gem finder.
I actually did not find that gem, so I'm not going to take credit for it. I don't know who did, whoever informed you, but oh, Blake apparently, the admin spotted it and pinged it out for you guys. I knew that the other one was a new gem because I was keeping track of it, but I want to take credit from Blake. Congrats to him for finding that gem for us. That was a huge mystery, but thinking about the game in general, it felt like there were opportunities early to maybe apply a little bit more pressure on the side of TJ for Joikernaught, of course. It just seemed like they weren't as comfortable doing so, and then that big double kill for Tinker, the Ancient Stack, you kept bringing up the point that they just weren't warding the Ancient Stack, which is something that everyone had known you have to do against Tinker for quite some time now. So these are probably mistakes that they can fix moving forward if they ever have to play a similar matchup again, but certainly stuff that you have to be cognizant of in the game itself. On the flip side, it just looked like a pretty good performance from Uni. You guys brought up Devil So High being a little bit lackluster. Hopefully similar to maybe Bricks on Shadow Fiend Eats Cake, it's just a bad game or two because these are high-profile matches for them being in the NA League playing for Full Sail. There are some nerves to take into consideration in that situation as well, but overall a pretty entertaining game.
Yeah, I think it's a good point to bring up. A lot of these teams are quite nervous. I mean, we see here as casters, it's easy to say teams should just be playing their game.
Noobs.
Confident. Yeah, noobs. You're a sack. Like, come on. But these teams are really nervous. The one friend who I have in Avanti's Angels, Jenkins, was saying after their match, like, he's like, that second, we were just so nervous and just worried about what to do. Like, we just overthought everything. We didn't know what to do. Like, and you kind of forget as viewers or as casters that this is a big deal for these players. Sure, they're not in the best, they're not at the international, but this is the biggest tournament they've ever played in.
For most of them.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It was a good showing from both teams, and I think game 2 will be a lot closer, I feel.
Yeah, I think that their draft needs to be better. Joikernaughts.
Yeah.
They went for a push trap, but they didn't ban Tinker. Tinker delayed the game and owned them. And like the hero alone almost just cost them the game. So they need to draft a little bit better. I feel like their play was like pretty decently solid. Lone Druid's farm was a little bit slow. Windrunner won her lane, but she didn't really do that much else with it. Lifestealer did, I think, what he could, and Chen did what he could too. So their play wasn't really that bad, just drafting, I think, and forcing the opponents to like play how they want them to, as opposed to just letting Tinker do whatever he wants.
Yeah. No Love had the perfect last ban on the Storm, whereas the Joikernaughts should have had that perfect last ban on the Tinker, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and take a quick break before we get into Game 2 of Joikernaughts versus No Love. When we come back, we will get to see that Game 2. Maybe the Joikernauts have something in their back pocket they can fall back on and even out the series. We'll see after this commercial break.